Hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods. Wake up here, guys. Okay, guys, how are you guys doing? I was trying to actually get the Mike McCarthy press conference live on the Dallas Cowboys YouTube channel. And, for about the last 2.5 hours or so, we've been actually waiting for the Dallas Cowboys to come through here. And as you can see, there's still 28 people waiting. And it's not on there. But thanks to Miss Jackie, she actually sent me a link to the Dallas Cowboys app where it actually is on there. So we're going, what? Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to actually play this right now. So we're going to actually listen to it on the app. Okay? So just bear with the music for a second here. Okay, Mike McCarthy is actually coming to the stage. And they're about to start. Okay, cut the music.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well. And with that, I'll take your questions.
Mike, can you just, you faced Everson Griffin quite a bit when you were in Green Bay. Can you just talk a little bit about what impressed you about him as a player and just the ability to get someone of that quality this late in the offseason?
Well, I can't say enough about Everson Griffin. Just the fact of being able to compete against him twice a year. He was always the primary focus for us offensively, going up against him. He's a relentless player. He brings it, every down. So has great passion for the game. I've had an opportunity to visit with him, and he's extremely excited. He's a big personality. So I think he's going to be a great fit for our football team.
How much did you think
Mike, as yesterday was going along and practices started, or maybe even these first couple of days, did any part of you feel any sense of normalcy of like being where you belong after being out for the year?
It felt great to be out there, no question. But frankly, I was just really focused on all the little things. We've all been part of the game of football for a long time, but every component of your practice is not always the same. So just really staying in tune with the particulars, and it's a different practice setup, and so just really focused on getting the drills the right way. We had a number of drills that were just really the first time we were able to do them with the players, and they were brand new. So you had some teaching tempo going on out there. So, but yes, it was. It felt great once we got into the team periods, because you feel like you're finally getting back to some real football.
back on the pass rushing thing? How much, when you took the job, did you feel like there was a need to improve the depth there, and who would you say played the biggest role in kind of making it happen?
Well, I'll just say this. Jerry and Stevens say it all the time. Player acquisition is 365 days a year. That has been clear here. That's been the method, and we're very fortunate to add players, all along the way. I just go through our whole free agent acquisition and then the rookie class that we put together. So, Jerry, Steven, Will McClay have done a phenomenal job of just staying after it, because I'm no different than any head coach in this league. You want the most competitive roster that you possibly can. We all understand that the priority of what pass rushers bring to your football team. We want to be explosive on offense, put points on the board, and we really want to put our pass rushers in position to pin their ears back. So, that's part of the way we look to attack this season. So you can never have enough good pass rushers.
Mike, do you have any sense of what this is capable of in coming back after a 4 to 5 year absence?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Were we talking about Alden? Okay.
Yeah, Alden Smith. What sense do you have of what he's capable of?
He looks great. He's probably about 20 pounds, bigger than when I last saw him play for the 49ers. So, very powerful. His length is extraordinary. He made a play in the team period, on a screen. It's just you don't see every day. That's for sure. So, but he's off to a great start. He's hit the target in every phase that we've gone through. Particularly the strength and conditioning, and but it looks good. I thought the team, for the most part, conditioning-wise, we got off to a solid start, and we're still getting used to each other, and it's clearly my responsibility to get the practice set up the right way. But all look good out there.
Coach, when do you plan to get Everson in for the start camp and practice?
Well, he has to go through all the protocols. The entry protocol. It's a 4 or 5 day process. So once we complete that, then we'll have an announcement for you.
Mike, when you drafted Steve Lamb, you talked about his ability to play all 4 positions. That was a priority for you to have him learn that. Is that still possible early in his rookie season, given how much of the offseason, preseason games have been possible?
Definitely. He's picked it up, seamlessly. He's done a great job in a classroom environment. CD looks very natural out there. So he had a big play in the team period. So he's definitely shown the ability to play all 3 spots, in the receiver position. And we'll see, what goes on with the punt return, those types of things. But he looks very, very natural on the football field. So excited about him.
Speaking of punt returns, how do you do special teams without preseason games?
Great question. We just we dedicated more time to special teams than I have in the past, and frankly, I always felt that we were pretty high in as far as time spent on special teams, as far as comparables to other NFL teams. So we're just investing a little more time with the specialists, particularly just getting them as much work as possible. As we move through training camp, the competitiveness of the periods, we'll get it as close to game-like as we possibly can.
Coach, we didn't get to see Lyle Collins in with the team drills. Can you just give us an update on him?
Yes, he's got an injury he's working through, and it's nothing serious, but he's gonna miss some time.
Mike, this probably doesn't mean much to you, but for people around here, it certainly looks different with the QBs in the red jersey. I probably know why you do it, but it's not something that's been done around here. Can you talk about the reasons for that?
It's just something, frankly, that's been done everywhere I've ever worked. So it's more of a preference. It's obviously, I think it identifies clearly the objective. Particularly when you get into the team periods. It's just really a preference of mine. But to be honest, back in the 90s, and those guys really didn't run the ball so much. So it might be a little unfair when Dak turns it upfield in a red jersey. So. But it's just a protection and identification format that I've always used.
How close is Poe coming to getting back on the field?
He's doing well. Looks good. Boy, I mean, just watching him work out there. I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm always amazed, by his footwork and his ability to get in and out of situations. So he's making progress.
What is Collins' injury?
Well, I'm not really getting into specifics of that, but it's not something that we're of high concern.
What's your early impression of Diggs and what's his style of play as it relates to the way you want to perform on defense?
Very smooth. He looks like he's transitioning very well so far. I mean, we've only had one practice, but the thing that jumps out, to you on the practice field is particularly his ball skills. He's a natural, and I think he'll adjust very well to the NFL game.
What kind of leap of faith will it take, Mike, to play rookies as roles early in the year, given limited opportunity to evaluate them? Really, no chance to evaluate them in game.
I'm not sure. You're cutting in and out there. Can you give me the first part of the question?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Given the elimination of the off-season program and preseason games, what's it going to take from a coaching point of view to trust a rookie in a prominent role, given you won't have seen him in game conditions?
Well, let's be honest. There's always a bit of a leap that you take playing rookies early in the season. It's been that way, I know, my entire head coaching career. So I think that'll be no different this year. You're obviously have to have a lot of trust in your practice environment, and you got to put those guys in there. We've always played rookies in my time as a head coach early and often, and by design, because frankly, there's a good chance that the youth of your roster is going to be playing in the most important games of the year in December.
Talk about the competitive nature of the defensive line, and the same be said of the secondary. It seems that you got a lot of talent back there.
The secondary talent, yeah, it's very, very competitive. We got great numbers. It's fun just in the limited work to be able to watch them in the strength conditioning phase, the phase 2, and now yesterday, with the practice on Friday, just to see those guys, work and compete, and I mean, there's going to be a lot of competition there, and I think it's a position that I've always felt like pass rushers, you can't have enough good coverage players, and the ability for those guys to play multiple positions will be key.
Can you talk about Daryl Worley? We really haven't had a chance to ask you about him and what he brings and his experience. Obviously, played corner and safety in his career.
Yes, the versatility that I just spoke on. I mean, he's a great fit. So he's definitely someone that you can use in the matchup. But he's fit right in. It's a new scheme for everybody. So there is definitely an adjustment from the new coaching staff to the older players, and, the original players and the new players coming in. So he's off to an excellent start. I think he looks very good.
I don't know if you had to worry much about the heat in your Green Bay days, but can you walk us through the conversations about how you all wanted to set this up and what led to the setup that you guys have?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been fortunate to be able to do this for 13 plus years. So I've had pretty much, I think I've run through most of the different types of training camp schedules. I have used the 8 a.m. practice schedule in the past. It was very popular with the players. I think it definitely fits our climate here in Dallas, the ability to practice at 8 a.m. I always prefer to be on the grass field as much as possible. So, but we have excellent turf fields here too at the Ford Center. So just to have that versatility has been a blessing for our setup. But it's important, I think, particularly with the heat, is to get up early and you do all your heavy lifting in the morning. So if you we have we're in the weight room and we practice, have the opportunity to be in the weight room afterwards. We have and then we little go after dinner into the night. It's a very fluid schedule. The feedback's been positive. It's a schedule I've used in the past.
Feedback positive from the players.
Mike, line and quarterbacks not out there. What are those guys doing at that point? Are they going through stuff on the field?
Yes, our early segment of practice, we have a quarterback score. One another, but they may be able to work together. It's kind of a pre-practice type mindset where quarterbacks don't really ever have the opportunity to footwork drill. They're fundamental drills, so the opportunity to do that for 30 plus minutes teams will be very beneficial to our quarterback group, and then also particularly for our linemen, and definitely with the angst that we all have on the development of our young players. So it's just the opportunity for the linemen and the quarterbacks to get some extra work.
Mike, what was your overall message before you guys got on the field in shells for the first time yesterday?
Well, we've been messaging really, just because this has been a different training camp. We've had what we refer to as a pre-training camp, so there's a lot of messaging going on there. I mean, frankly, just the biggest thing that we talked about going into the first practice was the importance of, we have 19 practices before we play. So, and how each practice is and staying, tuned into the details of it. I'm not really worried about the physical. It's definitely high. It's really the emotion. Most importantly, to pull it all together as a team. So it's a good thing to have active units throughout your football. Of it, it'll definitely help us in our opener.
We've asked you about your past, Griffin. The guys have added, they're 32. One guy's about to turn 30. Is age? Don't worry, but how do you monitor that, or would that be something you'd monitor as you go on with it?
I think, you look at a 32-year-old NFL player today, it's definitely different than it probably was 15, 20 years ago. I think we all recognize that. And also the evaluation is definitely different. There's so much more data available to do thorough evaluations, obviously just with the aspect of, TV games and just the technology that's increased in the breakdown. If you just look at our scouting department, it's remarkable the amount of information they have on every player that's attempted to even, compete in the National Football League. So, you just trust your evaluation process. And, I think 32 is not as big a concern as it may have been, a decade or so ago. So it'll be anything long term. Everyone, have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Okay, so you've been listening to today's press conference. Still don't understand what the Cowboys are doing as far as their YouTube channel goes. They put it up there that they're going to be doing a press conference, but I guess somebody forgot to put the send button to it. So, couple notes on there. Lyle Collins will miss some time. He said he'll miss some time with an undisclosed injury, but he said it's something they're not concerned about. So the one thing that's definitely evident is Mike McCarthy's not going to give you too much information. He's definitely not going to give you too much. He talked about some of the new drills that they're doing and things that, it takes time because they're finally getting out there with helmets and everything else with the new drills and stuff and getting in there. And that everything is different than ever before because of dealing with Corona. Talking about bringing in Everson Griffin, of course, he knew him well because he played against him twice every year when he was a coach at Green Bay. Definitely likes his motor, likes his attitude, likes the fact that he's relentless. And as Stephen Jones always says, player acquisition is a 365-day-a-year job, and you can never have too many pass rushers. Amen. Don Terry Poe, he said, is doing really well and making progress and should be returning back to the roster again soon. And CeeDee Lamb just looks natural out there. So they're definitely getting in a lot of special teams work and a lot of drills with all the players and everything else. And the reality is he's only going to give you so much information. And he does not look like he's really into doing a whole lot of press conferences. Definitely different than, we got Jason Garrett who's up there grinning and everything else. Mike McCarthy seems to be all business. Completely all business. So that's all we got for you guys. Hopefully this will help you guys out here for the day. I enjoyed listening to it and getting a little bit of insight and can't wait to see what my Dallas Cowboys are going to do. As always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. I'll see you soon.